Bernard Madoff, the Ponzi Scheme, and the Great Financial Crisis. Is it possible for the entire world to go bankrupt in an instant? This isn't just a story, it's the history of the greatest financial fraud in history. The story begins with you and ends with Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. The genius and the hidden. Bernard Madoff. Who was he? A brilliant New York businessman who started with $500 and rose to become a Wall Street executive. He possessed an extraordinary passion for the financial markets and the stock exchange. The first dangerous step: money laundering. Madoff began working to transfer suspicious funds, money laundering, for drug and arms lords such as El Chapo and Pablo Escobar. He laundered millions and billions, transforming them into legitimate and clean money using forged documents. The price of the service? He charged $100,000 for every million he laundered. This was the foundation upon which he built his considerable fortune. Buying accountants, the malicious game. The idea? Madoff's goal was to reach the big players, and the gateway to them was accountants. The trick? He identified 12 of the most prominent accountants in his field and asked them to invest small amounts with him as a test. The persuasion? He would buy shares for investors at a price, like $40, then buy them back from them at a higher price, $50, using his own money. The investor would earn 30% in a single day. The goal? Not immediate profit, but gaining popularity and trust among accountants to send an indirect message. Guys, I'm ready to launder your money and invest with guaranteed returns. The scheme of the century, the Ponzi scheme. Forget everything else and listen to the real scam. What is a Ponzi scheme? Charles Ponzi was an Italian con man who devised this scheme in 1920. The promise? Invest with me, and after 45 days, I'll give you a 50% return. Give me $1,000 and you get $1,500 back. The lie? Ponzi wasn't making any real investments. He was simply paying early investors profits from new investors' money to spread the word. The result? He amassed the equivalent of $41 billion in today's dollars in just 1 year. The truth? People weren't receiving profits, they were getting back portions of their original money in installments. Brave. Madoff combines the new fraud law. Madoff became the only safe haven on Wall Street at a time when global stock markets were crashing, the Great Depression. The process? Madoff became the only safe haven on Wall Street. The whole market was losing money, and he was handing out profits. Ponzi's fact check. He told people, leave your money with me for a whole year, and I'll give you a 30% return. Principle? Takes from one person's pocket and puts it in another's. Result? He amassed $65 billion with investments from governments worldwide, like Spain and the Netherlands, and even the US Federal Reserve itself. The butterfly effect. This is what causes the biggest banks to go bankrupt. The crash. In 2008, the financial meltdown occurred. People panicked and rushed to Madoff to withdraw all their money in a single day. Disclosure? Madoff didn't have this money. He had paid it to the initial investors. In an instant, $65 billion vanished. Fate. Madoff declared bankruptcy. 36 people, including the head of the French central bank, took their lives in the first week. Pyramid scheme. Principle? A chain that starts with you and expands hierarchically, geometrically with each new client you bring in, earning you a percentage of their profits. The impossible prospect. If you started with 5 people and repeated the process just 15 times, you'd have 12 billion clients, and humanity doesn't exceed 8 billion. The reality? This plan is mathematically and physically impossible and will never be completed. Don't believe in guaranteed huge profits, and don't trust investments that rise at breakneck speed. Conclusion and warning. Investing is necessary, but it must be genuine official, and documented. Awareness. Don't trust anyone. Ask questions, research, and scrutinize before deciding to invest, even if the person is someone you care about, so you don't end up like Madoff's victims. This was the Madoff story that changed and destroyed the fortunes of individuals and governments.